G'day, I'm Oscar,
I'm Tom.
and we're going to share a little story about two boys named Darcy and Darcy. For the sake of things, we'll probably call them Tall Darcy and Short Darcy.
And the tall Darcy is like very, very tall.
Yeah, he was super tall.
And the short Darcy is not even that short, but it's
He's
like
just like normal height, but it's because
in
Tall Darcy
comparison
was so
to
tall.
this giant.
We were speaking to him on the seat, and then he stood up, and he's just like.
So tall Darcy and short Darcy.
Oh, we saw this one dude in a really bright pink shirt, and we're like, oh yeah, let's go speak to him. So we spoke to them, found out they were from Vicky Point in Brisbane, out near the bay. They just finished school, and we kind of asked them how their spiritual lives were going. Tall Darcy said that he was technically a Christian because he'd been baptised, and that when he was kind of with his mum and with his mum's side of the family, he was a Christian because he said grace at dinner and did all that stuff. But then when he was with his dad's side, he was just like, oh no, not a Christian around my dad.
Yeah, and so we started talking about that to both the Darcys, and short Darcy let us know that he actually didn't believe in God or anything like that, but he'd heard like a little bit about it in philosophy class and things like that.
Yeah.
And so we start going through the gospel. So we have this bit about how God loves you, wants to be in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
You know, we chose ourselves rather than God, so that relationship's fractured. And then, you know, how Jesus's death and resurrection means we have this opportunity to embrace salvation. Yeah, Tall Darcy.
Tall Darcy was kind of like, oh yeah, I think I've got that, like I'll be fine. But then like Short Darcy, who wasn't, or it doesn't say he's a Christian, was like, no, you've actually got to make the decision to accept Jesus into your life.
Like straight up
Spewing straight facts.
convicting his friend here. Like, you know, faith isn't something just for your parents. Like, faith is something you have to like take on your own. Like, if you want a relationship with God, you need your own relationship with God rather than your family's relationship.
So he was
with
literally
God.
finishing our 4 points gospel presentation for us.
And then Tall Darcy was sort of just like in his seat, like reevaluating all his life choices. And then Short Darcy got really interested in talking to us.
Yeah, because he studied philosophy at high school, so he was into all the philosophical questions and all of that. Anyway, it was getting pretty late, so we decided to add them on Facebook, follow up with them the next day. We met outside a restaurant, caught up a bit, kind of had them repeat back the gospel message to us, talk through that a little bit.
One thing that was incredible I found is Short Darcy was actually so excited to meet back up with us that he invited his entire philosophy class, and they actually came along with him, but they had to leave like just before.
Which is probably a good thing because we had a bit of a better chat with them.
Yeah.
Then
we ended up having this really intimate chat about like barriers to faith and what are your barriers to faith. And the boys sort of just like, you know, they didn't really hold anything back. Like they told us exactly what was going on. And
Tall Darcy actually said like he probably didn't have any barriers to coming to faith again. So that was really encouraging.
Yeah.
He didn't choose to make the decision there because we were kind of, we were going over stuff with Short Darcy as well. And he had a few things that were kind of on his mind about it. So we were able to work through those one by one.
Yeah.
Felt like we were slowly turning the dial. Like you could see by the end of the conversation, he was really questioning his worldview.
Yeah, and at the end of the conversation, like he said that he felt like he's needing to reevaluate a lot of his life, and he feels like actually so many presuppositions he's just held, and he's never known why he has to hold. Like now he's needing to question them. He said he is so keen to chat whenever, and as soon as we finish being on schoolies, we should message him and he'd be keen to meet up on Bayside.
Yeah, so hopefully we're going to meet up with him at Vicky Point at some stage.
Yeah.
Talk through those a bit more.
And it would just be amazing to be able to see these boys come to Christ, hopefully in awesome. The coming months or like maybe even years down the track where we aren't able to see the fruit from, from our time on school.
We're definitely assured that seed's been planted. So.
Yeah.